Hello. Another perfect landing. Something I wanted to ask you about. Once again, of course, I do read every comment, even the nasty ones. Like mean. Some people like to be mean online. As if life isn't short enough and miserable enough, right? That's okay. It doesn't bother me any. So go ahead. I don't want to be right about this at all. I absolutely don't. I've said this countless times over the past 2+ years that this is a stage system to bring people to their knees. Every indication says that. Same thing's happened in Australia, happened in Canada. You know, you tighten around that, tighten, let loose, tighten a little tighter, just right at the point where people want to break. You let loose, oh, everything's back to normal again, and people become normalized to this. I have to state that, and I've said it many times, so once you have people on your knees, it's over with. Financial ruin. Everything is pointing towards a stage system of financial ruin and bringing everybody to their knees. I had an energy brownout today. Predictions of energy brownouts this summer here in the United States. This idea of owning nothing and being, that's just completely ridiculous. Nobody throughout all of history has owned nothing. You know, you own the shirt on your back. And what's most important is you own your dignity. You have a toolbox within your head to survive and take care of yourself and not be swayed by lies and nonsense. Over the past 2 years, I won't name the particular substance that was administered to the hospital, but my 2 friends, first name of Mark, yes, the other person's name is Steve. I don't want to give his last name. They were both killed by the hospital. They did not die from the coof. The hospital ended them. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind, 1,000%, that my 2 friends that were taken out by the hospital would still be alive today. They were given something, I won't name that because you're not actually supposed to talk about it. They were given something and it did end them. They did not die from the coof. That's not my opinion at all. Those were my 2 friends, and they're both dead and buried now. House prices and land prices keep going up, but nobody can afford it. There's certain entities like BlackRock and other entities that are buying it and turning it into rental property. The 2 houses around me now are now rental properties, and they're owned by a really slummy company. This is happening all over the United States, by the way. I hear it's happening in other countries. I won't name the countries where other people have told me this. I don't say it's happening all over the world. I own my house. I'm not letting it go. But if we can't pay the bills, how long can you hold it? Because here in the United States, you have to pay this neat little thing called property taxes. And if once you can't pay them anymore, then it gets seized. There is one special thing about the United States that is extremely special and incredibly unique, unlike other countries. And our forefathers who actually composed the Constitution and the Bill of Rights knew that there would come a day when this would happen, and they wrote something in there to keep tyranny from happening. I don't need to state the obvious. Housing prices keep going up. The stock market's close to a week-over-week slump that is as bad as 90 years ago from 1932. Well, if that reverses itself on Monday, obviously that'll be incorrect, but so far it's had a week-over-week slump that is approaching that from 90 years ago. I'm in Kentucky, where gas is nearly the cheapest in the nation. I mean, it's somewhere up at the top. I know there's some cheaper places. Not by much, though. And I know gas is already over like $6 a gallon or whatever in many parts of California. But I mean, I fill up less than half my tank, and it was 43 or 44 bucks, less than a half a tank. I know for a fact, and I can feel the zeitgeist out there. People, normal people, yeah, a wife and a kid, or 2 kids, whatever, have a house payment, a car payment, have to pay for their kids. They have to. I don't even have insurance. I have no house payment, no car payment. I have no kids, and I don't have medical insurance, so If I ever get in a medical emergency, Also, it's true that something like 90% of Americans are one $500 emergency away from being completely broke. Yeah, no, it's 90% of Americans, if they had a $500 emergency, couldn't pay it. I forget the experts that said this, but they appear to be right, that gas by late June or July is going to average, nationwide average is going to be a minimum of $6 plus per gallon. I can tell you right now that once gas hits 5 or 5.50 gallon average, people have already cut back nearly to the core. They can't cut back anymore. The average person is going to snap. It'll be the last straw that breaks the camel's back. Everything is pointing towards a staged system to bring people to their knees. Absolutely everything. The reason why Target and Walmart over the past few days, even though I don't like those stores, it's not important, they got hit really, really, really hard. And those are staples because most Targets and Walmarts are not the super version that sell groceries. In case you're not in the United States, there's a regular Walmart that just sells plastic garbage, and there's a super Walmart, which is basically the same plastic garbage that also sells groceries. Walmart, and especially Target, lost like 25 to 30% of its value because these people cater to the people that are poorest. I hate Target though, Target to the poorest people. The reason why they took a hit so bad, other than buying groceries there, people aren't buying, shirts and, lawn furniture, all the other stuff they sell at Target and Walmart, they're not being bought. Target and Walmart and a few other large chains that cater to the people with the least income got hit super bad because people are not buying that stuff because they can't afford to, because gas and food comes first. So people that were buying the typical plastic garbage, whatever, at Target, they're not buying it anymore. So that's why they got hit so bad. Nobody can afford a home right now. They're being bought for rentals. Gas has gone completely insane. It's going to go up to 6 plus, and that's going to break the country. It's going to break it. We're already in a recession, no ifs, ands, and buts. Let's pray we don't go into a depression. There is a cabal behind all of this. Let's just call it what it is, which is warmongering. Most Americans have no idea where Ukraine was or even heard of Ukraine before. And I'm not against helping people out that deserve it. I mean, I'm not against that at all. When inflation is so high and people can't afford gas and fuel and everybody's teetering right on the brink, and they are. Maybe not you. I'm sitting pretty in my big house. Nothing's changed for me. Well, for most people it has. These people that are running this country, and it's not politics, it's just a fact, they're sniffing their own flatulence. They have no idea how the rest of America is living and basically barely surviving. They've cut back to the quick. They're not buying anything at all. Everything is going, vanishing and out the tailpipe of their vehicle because they got to drive to work. Here in America, by the way, public transportation is total garbage. Public transportation everywhere is total garbage. I've ridden really good public transportation. Still garbage. Americans don't want public transportation. You Europeans will complain about that all you want. People that live out in rural America, which is like most of America, those electric cars are garbage. They're expensive. They're really low energy density relative to gas. They're horrible in cold weather. None of those people are going to buy a Tesla no matter how cheap they get. They're just not. They're not going to buy them. And they can't afford them either. I don't know where people think electricity comes from that powers those Tesla, but they come from coal-fired power plants, nuclear power plants, other places. I really, really, really do hope I'm wrong about this, but everything over the past 2.5 years has been staged escalation to bring everybody to their knees. Absolutely all of it. One thing alone, or 2 or 3 things, or 4 things alone would have never done it. Because people see through it, even not very bright people. They see through it. It's like, this is a scam. See through it. 1, 2, 3, or 4 things not going to work. It's all of these things collectively working in unison. You're going to bring people to their knees. Once you have people on their knees, you can do whatever. There's a statement from Lenin. Was it from Stalin? No, it was from Lenin. It wasn't Trotsky, it was from Lenin. When people were suffering and they couldn't feed themselves, it was right after the Bolshevik Revolution, I believe. No, it was right before the Bolshevik Revolution. Lenin said, the worse the better. The worse the better means is that when people are suffering horribly and they can't pay, can't pay the bills, they can't make ends meet, they can't feed their family, their kids, that's when you got people. Anytime you want to bring a society or a world to its knees, which would be really hard, it has to be many, many, many facets working in near perfect unison. If that doesn't work, then stage 2 is right behind it. I don't care if you think this sounds like a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy person. Everything over the past 2.5 years says this. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of fuel here in the United States. We're not tapping it. Everybody's suffering like a dog. Food prices are ridiculous. Every decent farmer, here's another fact, no conspiracy at all. Every decent farmer in the United States, I've heard what some farmers now are paying for fertilizer. One major farm said he normally pays for the whole year he pays, used to, average, fertilizer for his whole big farm, something like $120,000 for fertilizer. Now he's paying $2 million. People in Australia talk about a large farm. The fertilizer went way up, and so necessitatively, the fruit, actually it was vegetables, 2 different types of vegetables, excuse me, they're growing. They couldn't sell it because, they're just trying to break even, right? Maintain. But the restaurants and other places, distribution centers that they sell it to normally said, no, the price is too high. It's like, well, fertilizer costs have gone up. You have fuel prices to collect it and to sow it, and you have fertilizer prices, which are astronomical. People have no idea all the avenues that are being destroyed that feed the food supply chain. They just have no idea. It's not just fertilizer, it's the diesel also. For harvesting and collection and processing, they have no idea many, many countless factors which have all been essentially destroyed, which feed the food supply chain. And it's all come to a head right now, this year, middle of 2022. If you think food prices are really high now, and they are, you ain't seen a damn thing yet. You have not seen a damn thing. When Farmer Boy is talking about, instead of paying $160,000 for fertilizer, not only is his diesel to collect it and harvest it astronomically higher, but now his yearly fertilizer price has gone from $180,000, large farm, to over $2 million. What do you think that's going to do to food prices? There is no aspect of any of this that does not or hints counter to what I've said about the staged system to bring people to their knees. Like, well, this is an outlier here. No, absolutely everything points to it. Absolutely everything. And I hope you believe me when I tell you this, because nothing would make me happier to be proven wrong on this video. Some people just they take it as an ego hit or something. Here, this didn't happen, proved you wrong. They get, ooh, I got that wrong. I would like to be proven wrong. I hope you do prove me wrong. There's nothing I would rather be happy to be proven wrong on than the things I said in this video. I would love to be proven wrong. I don't want to be right on this. I've talked to some farmers. There's a farmer next to me. He's stressed out. He's not going to do any fertilizer. He can't afford it. He grows corn and watermelons and tomatoes and potatoes. Can't afford the fertilizer. Can't do it. He's barely breaking even before. Can't afford the fertilizer. What do you think that's going to do to crop yield? What do you think about his harvesting needs and the diesel required for harvesting? I don't know what you think harvesters run off of, but they don't run off of angel dust and pixie dust. They run on diesel. If you ever listen to me on anything, I hope you listen to me now. Store up on non-perishable foods now, 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 now. A minimum of 2 to 3 months per person. However many people are in the household. I have done it. I practice what I preach on this. I assure you so. I'll show you my basement. I hope I'm wrong on this. I really want to be wrong. Nothing. I keep mulling this over in my mind over and over and over again. Am I wrong on this? No, I'm not. Am I wrong? Could I possibly be wrong? No, I'm not. Everything points to it. Absolutely every damn thing points to it. Tell me what you think. I read every comment. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I'm not a doom and gloomer. I'm not. Life's too short for that. I've seen enough doom and gloom. I've seen way more than I need to see. I've had enough misery in my life. I can assure you of that damn much. I don't need any more, and I'm not interested in generating it. Nor do I have any desire for doom and gloom. I don't.